and welcome to Campbell Now. I'm Abby DeVore.
And I'm Joshua Davis. You probably saw them on campus, demonstrators who brought a graphic anti-abortion message to Campbell. They wanted to be noticed, and they succeeded. Reporter Cassidy McCardle talked with them and with some students who did not like the tone of their message. Cassidy, what did you learn?
Thank you, Josh. Students observed graphic images demonstrating aborted fetuses this past week. The group was an uninvited presence here on campus. I spoke with several members of the group, students and counter-protesters. Here's what they have to say.
Are telling me what I can and cannot do with my body, and I don't appreciate it. And to be fair, I'm a birth to kindergarten major. I know about some babies, and I've been through classes about pregnancies and what can happen in the womb. Is bull.
Celia Miller was one of many concerned students on campus last week. An uninvited group called the Center for Bioethical Reform displayed what many students referred to as graphic images among the public sidewalks around campus.
We don't protest abortion, we expose abortion, and abortion protests itself.
The Center for Bioethical Reform claims to be a group that reaches out to Christian communities like Campbell and trains young Christians to fight against abortion. The group travels to different schools around the nation to spread their message. A few Campbell students observed the images and started their own protest here on campus.
I think that women have control over their own bodies and that it's no one else's decision except theirs. But mainly, I think they have a right to their own opinion, but I think that the pictures are extremely graphic and that there's no excuse for them to be shown around children. There's an elementary school a minute down the road.
When asked about the graphic images displayed, a spokesperson for the organization said,
Because abortion is, in fact, an act of violence that decapitates and dismembers small human beings. And so, of course, the pictures are graphic because abortion is an act of violence.
Some students took to social media to express their grievances with the organization. One student writes, "To the pro-lifers who used my Jesus' name to shame and degrade those who have made the choice to have an abortion on my campus today, you are the ones who should be ashamed. My Jesus would not make people feel that way. My Jesus would show forgiveness and love regardless of the situation." Campbell University officials make it clear to students that the university is in no way affiliated with this organization, referring to them as an uninvited presence in an email sent out to students on October 16th. The group made it very clear that they are only exposing what abortion is. They don't want to be thought of as protesters. Josh?
Thank you, Cassidy. We'll be right back after this break.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
In other news around the creek, a Raleigh man is accused of attacking Campbell's beloved mascot at this weekend's homecoming football game. According to the Harnett County Sheriff's Office, deputies were called to the home side of the stadium Saturday afternoon after a man tackled the student who was dressed as Gaylord and tried to rip off the mascot's head. The student sustained minor injuries in the attack, and deputies arrested 31-year-old William Patrick Philippi of Raleigh. They say either drugs or alcohol was involved. Philippi was released on bond this weekend, and he faces charges of a single misdemeanor simple assault. If you're thinking about your career goals, we'll talk with a woman who can help you, no matter what your major is. Dr. Yasmin Farley will be here later in the show, and we'll be right back.
I got it!
Hi.
Can you help me?
I got it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now?
Right now.
You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn
What
more.
initially started as a protest, the situation in Chile has quickly turned dangerous. On Saturday, riots continued for the second day, resulting in Chile's President, Sebastián Piñera, to declare a state of emergency. The riots are reported to have begun after Piñera said that he was going to revisit the subway fare hike. Santiago's mayor, Carla Rubilar, reported that 3 people are dead after a fire at a supermarket was set by demonstrators. The Chilean army has set a curfew for the city of Santiago in efforts to calm the violence.
Sunday night, a small plane disappeared while on the way to Raleigh-Durham International Airport. It was reported that a distress signal was sent out around 7:25, and then the plane disappeared from radar. The last shown location was over William B. Umstead State Park, located to the east of RDU. This prompted the airport to shut down, causing many delays for travelers. However, the airport reopened shortly while rescue teams continued to search the park. Crystal Feldman, Vice President of Communications, Government, and Community Affairs at RDU, spoke out saying, quote, "Our primary goal is to find this airplane. All of our focus is on that operation," end quote.
An examination by police in North Carolina has prompted charges against 3 women blamed for attacking individuals with handicaps and empowering inhabitants at a help living office to fight. The Winston-Salem Journal stated, police got reports in June of senior maltreatment at Danby House in Winston-Salem. Winston-Salem police specialists and the NC Department of Health and Human Resources investigated the reports and furthermore found one representative ambushed one of the occupants by pushing them. No wounds were accounted for because of the fighting. 2 laborers were captured on October 2nd and October 3rd, and a 3rd worker was captured Thursday. 2 were given bond and a 3rd was discharged from authority on a composed guarantee to show up in court. We'll have more news when we come back.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included and I knew that I was going to be okay.
After the recent partial collapse of the Hard Rock Hotel on October 12th in New Orleans, the cranes that stood over the building have been removed using a series of minor explosions. The 2 cranes, both over 250 feet tall, have been a concern as there are fears of them falling on their own. The city issued an evacuation order for nearby residents as the implosion could do damage to surrounding areas. It's cited that tourists have come to the site just to watch for themselves.
Former NBA superstar Shaquille O'Neal paid the rent for a family whose son was paralyzed in a shooting. Shaq donated a year's rent to the family that was involved in the tragic moment. Alshin Woods is the mother of Isaiah Woods, who was shot in a shooting during a football game in Atlanta. A 15-year-old was arrested this week who is related to the shooting. He was charged with aggravated assault.
Hey! There are amazing things to discover in the forest.
Toothless, time to go! What you picking up on, bud?
It's a whole hidden world of wonders. And the perfect place to spend time with family. What better place to let your imagination soar? Experience nature and create a memory you can share. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
Our Campbell University Fighting Camels won the homecoming game Saturday, 31-16. The Fighting Camels advanced 5-1 on the season with the win over Hampton University. This is the Campbell's first homecoming victory since 2014. The Campbells are now 2-0 in conference and are currently sitting in second place in the conference. Coming up, Campbell will be facing Gardner-Webb this Saturday at 4 p.m. at the Ernest Wrangler Football Stadium. You can support your fellow Camels by following along on the radio or by tuning in on ESPN+. When we come back, Dr. Yasmin Farley will be here to talk about career services.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
We're here with Dr. Yasmin Farley from Career Services. And tell us, Dr. Farley, what is Career Services exactly?
Sure. So Career Services operates within the area of student success, and we help to prepare students for the world of work, service, and leadership. And we do that by empowering them to select a career path that aligns with their interests, their personal values, their abilities, and their education.
All right. And why is it so important for students to get involved with Career Services?
So it's important for students to get involved with Career Services because when students are coming to college, one of the main goals in mind is either going to graduate school or making sure that you get that dream job after you finish your career here at Campbell. And so career services really assist students in reaching that goal, because one of the first things that an employer is going to see when they are looking at potentially hiring you is your resume. And so most of the time we provide, or not most of the time, all of the time, we provide a variety of services that will help students make sure that they're going to get that dream job. From resume writing review to cover letter reviews, we help students with graduate school preparation, so looking over those personal statements, helping them find programs that align with what they want to do in their career path later on. As well as helping them prepare for that interview. So once they get the opportunity to interview with an employer, as well as providing a variety of networking opportunities for students to attend. So such as our career fairs, which we have one every single year in the spring. This year it's going to be on March 31st. And then also a graduate school fair, which is coming up later this semester, that we provide students with those opportunities. We bring alumni back to campus. We connect students with alumni if they're interested in their particular work field, for job shadowing, for informational interviews, and a variety of other things. One of the major things that a lot of students probably are already aware of is our job posting board, which is called See You Hired. And that particular board allows students to search for internships, part-time jobs, full-time jobs. Through there, they can also upload their resume for review through my office. And so there's just a lot of great resources, both online and in person, that they can get from Career Services. It's already provided to students free of charge in their tuition. And I just encourage students to really utilize this resource because it can help them to get to where they want to go. And then one other thing, we also have a career closet where students can come and shop for free for professional clothing if they are in need.
Wow. And besides those two events you already mentioned, are there any other events that students should be aware of in the coming future?
Yes, so every last Tuesday of each month we host career chats. And so the next career chat is going to be coming up on October 29th, and we're going to be talking about how to job search. And so hopefully students will come out and check that out. We also have Career Week coming up in November, and so it's National Career Development Week, the week of November 11th through the 15th. And so we'll have events all throughout that week, a snack chat with Career Services. We're going to have our Career Closet Shopping Day, which we are trying to clear the closet. So we want students to come out and shop. You can take up to 3 items on that day, and then around 4 o'clock, it is free for all. And so students can come and take as many items as they want to help build their professional wardrobe. We have our graduate school fair during that week on November 13th. And we have Waffle House coming to talk about careers with their company, as well as going into kind of the food and service industry. Amazingly, you can make up to like $100,000 working at Waffle House, which is something most students would never think was possible, or even consider that as a career. So that's why we're having them on campus, so that they can chat about those things. And then that Friday, we're going to have a resume blitz where students can walk in and get their resume reviewed by someone in my office.
All right, thank you very much for coming in. This has been Dr. Farley. I'm Joshua, and we're excited to see what Career Services will offer students in the coming future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Got it!
Hi.
Can you help me?
I got it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared, so start now.
Right now? Right now.
You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Students looking for an exciting weekend away from campus? Well, here's your chance. During the weekend of October 25th through October 27th, students can take a trip with CAB down to the historical city of Charleston, South Carolina. Students will leave campus from the Fine Arts Building on Friday at 3 p.m. and will return at 6 p.m. on Sunday. Registration began on September 24th, but there is still time to register before the weekend getaway this week.
Keenan Lowe, a high school track coach and security guard, unarmed a potential school shooter and suicide threat on May 17th earlier this year. As reported by ABC, security footage captured the moment after Lowe disarmed the student when he embraced him. Police soon arrived to arrest the student. ABC News also reported that the student was suffering from a mental health crisis at the time. In a quote from Lowe, quote, "I feel like I was put in that room for a reason. You know, the shooter didn't know that I was in that room when he opened the door, and I think there are things in my life that have prepared me for that very moment," he said. "I thank God that no one got hurt, and I thank God I was in that room," end quote.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Abby DeBoer.
And I'm Joshua Davis. We'll have college sports tomorrow, as well as more news Wednesday evening. We'll see you later, Camels.